Hello, hello. Oh, we've already got some folks coming in. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Kuldeep. Hi, Mara. Hey, Trevor. What's up, everybody? Hey, Jay. What's going on? Nice to see you guys. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Melissa.
Hi. Look, they're here. We're here. I'm here.
I'm here. This is
You're
awesome.
here.
So, welcome everybody. It is noon here on the East Coast of North America. That means it's time for Tilted Bench, the show where we talk about coaching, what it is, why it works, coaches, how they do the things they do, why that stuff is important. Melissa, I am super happy to have you with me today. Glad to talk about coffee chats because they are always awesome.
They are, at least in my opinion. I don't know.
Do you want to kick us off by introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about the kind of stuff you do. Let us know what kind of coaching stuff you do. And do you want to also share kind of your recent change in career?
So I'm a mindset coach. My quick stuff is website, Document Then Act. Go check it out if you haven't. I have some planners actually around the topic today. I have an audio event that I host twice a week. Once is on Tuesday at noon Pacific, where it's kind of like hanging out on my couch. You never know what we're going to talk about. There's no rhyme or reason. It could be cake. It could be chaos. Who knows? And then Saturdays, it's Coffee Chats with Melissa, where I go live for 2 hours a week with somebody from my network, somebody really cool who shares like I am today. And then we dive into chaos and coffee chat conversation. So it's a little bit about me. I've been self-employed since April 15th doing coaching and 2015, right? Coaching and consulting. And then most recently, I was managing director of Expert Background Solutions, and we closed rather unexpectedly just last week. So I'm also open to new W-2 opportunities. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to coach a little bit. I don't know. But I have some coaching clients already coming in, and that's fun because the network, the coffee chats, it never died. So it's been a nice transition. And so I don't know. Is that enough? Do you guys know who I am yet?
So we've got cake, chaos, coaching, coffee. I mean, these are all good things.
Crayons and colors and fun and stuff.
And glitter, but that doesn't start with a G, and that's different.
Yeah. Well, that's the chaos part, right? Like I didn't bring any glitter. Really, it's in the lip gloss, but I was careful about my glitter placement because I know my friend Nathan's not a big fan.
Guys, if you don't know, I love inside jokes. So we're talking about coffee chats today, everybody. I know a lot of you in the comment section here. I've had coffee chats with a lot of you, even if I haven't, you know the value of these. Melissa, kick us off. Tell us what is it to you that is so important about having these chats? And for those who don't know, tell them what a coffee chat is.
Yeah. So reality is if you've been in sales or business or done any, rubbing elbows with people to try to make business happen, it's all about networking. It's all about having conversations. And LinkedIn, for me, I was trying to just grow. Last February or so, 2022, I think. I don't know. Somebody fact check me, but I was doing Social Saturday for a while. And I had about 1,700 friends. And they were all people I had marketed to, maybe connected just to try to pitch later. Very small town people, mostly people I knew or knew of locally. And I came onto the platform a decade later, 1,700 friends deep, going, nobody's engaging. I'm not really posting. It was that revolution of color that came to the platform, people being themselves. And I dove in both feet, glitter, color, and fun and stuff. I mean, you guys probably know me best in this version, right? You've seen it. But I had fun on a platform using techniques I'd always seen in business. Let's get on a chat. Tell me about yourself. What are you doing here? What are your goals? And I would do 5 minutes for you, Nathan, 5 minutes for me, and then 5 minutes for us to brainstorm together. So who should we introduce each other to? How are we going to keep this going? How can I best support you? And it took off. I'm at almost 13,000 friends now, using glitter and color and fun and stuff, circles and crayons and all the stuff they say don't post here. I do. And I mean, look at our friends in the chat. They're pretty awesome. So that's how it started. It was 3 to 5 a day. Last August, my mom passed away. And I took a little hiatus. I was doing 3 to 5 a day, 5 days a week. That's a lot of people. You take 30 days off, you miss a lot on this platform. And so I just did a live event. They were here, and I thought, why not? Let's just open forum. If you want to catch up, let's do it. And I got addicted. I had been to Aaron Barrero. I think it was Aaron and Brian Segre who did a couple first, and I listened in and I was like, oh yeah, I like it. And then I used that same platform to catch people up. And then I had Aaron come to my show, and he shared something really heavy, and I realized it was the perfect platform to have those conversations. Nobody was really having it. There were some, right? But I feel like that was a moment for us to kind of just pull back the curtain and have those harder conversations live without being recorded, without having an HR playing it back next week, without anybody seeing my eyebrows if you said something I didn't agree with. And it's worked. I mean, it's how I met most of everybody I know these days. The best people in my life I met on this platform. Even my team that we lost at Expert, they were all found here. And so I don't know, the power, you can't even define it. It just depends on how you use it.
Well, I think one of the great things that I love so much about live events is that, like, a live event like this is very much just a coffee chat that we're doing publicly so that we can involve a lot of other people and they can be in on the conversation too. And that kind of stuff really builds that network in a broader sense.
And it's fun. And let's be honest, if you're not using LinkedIn to have fun during your workday, or, it's something to consider. A lot of the organizations that are out there won't let you play on those other platforms. And I say play, but really engage and network during a business day. This is one of those that's usually approved. And so why not utilize it to its full capacity and potential? And the people who come into these chats, I mean, so Felipe, for example, I know he likes certain Sesame Street characters. I won't call him out, but he's told people on my show his favorite bad word. And there's certain things that you learn about these people, and you're like, I feel like he's my best friend. I could sit down and, maybe curse at a football game with him and know exactly what word to use to catch his attention. But to go into the DMs now and say, hey, Felipe, I would love to talk to you. I'm selling, bran flakes. Can we talk about how you're going to eat it while you're watching PBS on Saturday? It's a very easy way for us to have a conversation. And we're friends enough for him to say no, or say, yeah, tell me about your bran flakes. My doctor told me I need to watch it, or. And so really, that's the power, is disarming the people on the platform who don't want pitch slaps. And then you don't pitch slap once you get in. Just don't do that either.
Well, there's this thing about moving off of kind of the public nature of the posting and the commenting. Like what Paul's talking about here, where when you get into those one-on-one conversations, you're able to reach a different level of vulnerability. A lot of people aren't comfortable with, throwing their more personal side out there on the platform. But if you get one-on-one, you're able to do that. It's a lot more comfortable.
I'm a chaotic little bunny, like we said earlier. I just put it all out there.
Wait. A chaotic little bunny?
Listen, it's happening.
Let me write that down.
Yes. I mean, it really is a thing where I kind of jump around. There's this beautiful, moment where I can kind of bring it all back together, where my brain checks all the boxes again. But somehow we navigate through some of the craziest conversations to, talk about really professional stuff. But when you think about your cubicles at work, can you tell me who is Oscar the Grouch? Big Bird. Who's Snuffy? Who's that one you could just come to and he's like, oh yeah, and he'll talk you through it. When you think about it from a child's mindset, you can really have harder conversations, because you're not really talking about Bob at the office. You're talking about Big Bird.
Well, I mean, this is one of the things that I love about LinkedIn. Like, this is a place where, not only can you network professionally, but especially since so many of us have moved to working from home, working remotely, you don't have those water cooler conversations that used to be the hallmark of relationship building in an office. Even those moments when, say, before a meeting, everybody goes in for the meeting, there's always a couple of people who show up maybe a little early or who hang around a little bit afterwards. And there are little impromptu conversations that are happening in those moments. Those conversations build relationships, take them deeper. They help you to know more individually who people are. And that lets you know when to call on them. That's the kind of stuff that we get when we get into those coffee chats and when we get into the even lives like this, where people are sharing inside jokes, having fun together, laughing about things. It's really one big relationship building, community building, culture building kind of thing.
It really is. And it's fun and passion. So I say it a lot in my events, but if you think about anything you've spent money on this week, that was not a requirement by law or otherwise, right? It was fun or passion. You were passionate about not making dinner. You were passionate about seeing the new movie in theaters. You needed to have a night out. You needed some fun in your life, so you went on vacation. It's all fun and passion. And if you can combine those two forces with your product, you're Disney. And I've said it a million times, but what do people pay to get in the gates there because of those two promises once they're in? That's all you're promised at Disney is fun and passion.
So my wife is out on the West Coast right now in San Diego for a business meeting, which means I'm home here with the three girls. So you're talking about Disney, which is speaking my language right now. They're
Yes.
downstairs watching something as we speak. But then also this passion, right? Like about what you choose, right? In my case, I'm really on the fence about making dinner tonight. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Like I'm kind of thinking maybe I should order pizza, right? How passionate am I about that? The choices that we make are so often driven by our feelings. We can do checklists, right? Everybody does pros and cons lists about your career choices, your decisions about even within your business right now, your day to day. But the feelings are the stuff that are really powerful and they can really motivate people. And if we get to know each other better, we can understand each other's motivations more deeply.
And I'm a big fan of Venn diagrams. Like I know I talk about checking boxes and to-do lists, but where does fun and passion meet? Where does fun, passion, product meet? You can add as many circles as you want. It could be the Olympics, right? Just keep adding rings. But and I know there's a million methodologies to it, but 2 simple circles is usually how I like to do it. Like, where am I today? What does my retirement look like? If you're a high schooler and you want to go to the NFL, a lot of people would try to dissuade you and say, it's really not a realistic goal. What is your plan B? And I'm like, great, let's do the NFL. Where do they recruit from? And college. Okay, great. Where does the college recruit from? Oh, high school. How do you get on the high school team? And now you actually have an actionable plan, a methodology, a pathway. You may not hit every pillar right away, but do you know how to start working towards it in ways others don't? Yes. And so what do you want to be when you grow up can be very clear and concise once you figure out the end result. Like, what does it look like? And really define it for yourself. Me, I know I would give away more than I get. That's something I've always done. I would talk to people. I would color. I would still draw. I would still dream. And I would totally do audio and podcast. So I'm doing all of those things now for pay until I can do it for free. Right? And so if you just think about life that way, what if I just charge until I can do that thing? Or what somebody says, hey, if I'm rich and I'm retired, I want Gordon Ramsay teaching me how to make a burger by the grill. Great. Go take a cooking class now. And what kind of correlation is that? Well, listen, you're not going to meet Gordon unless you're in a kitchen, right? Are you head of NBC? Are you running his programs? No. So get in the kitchen. And when you start thinking like that, your strategies change and it really becomes actionable because it's not just dreamland. It's how would I meet Gordon? Where does he hang out? In a kitchen.
Well, that's one of the things about mindset and about motivation, right? Is that when you're looking at something that is absolutely titanic, right? Like meeting someone who is completely outside of your network, it can feel like there's nowhere to go. But if you can back up, ask the right questions, do the right kind of work to find actionable steps that you can do, then you can get the ball rolling and you can start moving. And until you can shift your mindset from looking at something unattainable to looking something that's actually within your immediate realm of possibilities, you can stay stuck.
Yeah, I love these comments. I can't usually keep up. Even on my audio events, I'm like, don't message me, I'm live.
It's so hard.
I'm looking at the face. He used the right emojis, right? And so I laughed at this because back in the day when my mom, she used to call me Taz. And so of the two, I never thought I was Bugs Bunny. I was more of a Taz. But now I feel more like Bugs. I feel like I've evolved. Then later in life, she actually called me Jessica Rabbit. And I think she was married to Bugs. And so as long as I'm in the family, definitely a rabbit. Definitely. Maybe Energizer. We could be twins.
So why rabbits? That's so just because
We
of
just
those
keep
stories. And I mean,
going. Like, right? I don't know, but then I like the tortoise and the hare a lot. So I'm like, hey, listen, rabbit. It's Saturday morning. Are you seriously dressed on my coffee chat? This is ridiculous. It's audio. I think there's balance to all things, but just I can't help who I am, and most of us can't. And if we try, it's exhausting. And so if we can just dive into that, but also find the fun and passion people need around the product or service we provide and just be authentic, it works. I mean, it really does. Look at our comment section. These people are amazing, and I didn't know them before LinkedIn. Now I'm thinking, Alice, I want to go to Wonderland.
Well, Sam, it's nice to see you. Sam loves rabbit holes. I mean, this is another thing about these conversations that are one-on-one.
But I need to know more about the rabbit holes. Is there like that? Is that a secret joke somewhere?
There's no, I mean, Sam is one of those folks who is always up for following rabbit holes down. And I mean, this is one of those things that happens in these conversations. And we do this in comment sections too on posts, but somebody has an idea and then that makes you think of something else. So you just go for it. You just explore that, whatever it is, you dive on in. I mean, you can say, oh, I don't want to go off on a tangent, or you can embrace that and realize that when those tangents come up, there's a possibility to go somewhere new. And it might be a place where both of you like it, or in something like this, where everybody in the room likes it. And then that's just another step towards getting to know what kind of fun stuff people are into and building inside jokes, which I absolutely love inside jokes because they're enormous community builders. When you and I have some little joke, or you and all of us who follow you and know the things that you're about have some kind of inside joke, be it glitter, be it rabbits, be it the eyebrows, those things, every time we hit those notes, that's a note and a song that ties us all together. And it's a song that we all sing together. And that itself is a weird symbol that just came up because I was in the middle of that tangent, but there you go.
I just love this, but can I tell you, I'm looking at the comment section and here we are talking about bunnies, cartoon bunnies at that, right? And we're clarifying family trees and where they overlap and where they don't. But these are grown up conversations. Part of what drew me into you, and I remember this, was your villains, right? And you covered the whole series and Hamilton, and I couldn't stop thinking about Hamilton because of you. And I loved it. That was one of the best soundtracks of all time. And you think about the journey. Like, do you even, what was it? Do you even meme bro? Is that what Samantha did with Jeremiah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, you think about it, the early with Trevor, his giggle, I swear if I could trademark his giggle on his behalf, I would, because that draws me in. And there's something fun about his fun and passion behind his stuff. Right? And it's a cool circle to hang out in. I'm just saying. I don't know.
It is. Thanks for bringing.
And Amber's face. Can we just talk about Amber's face when she gets tickled? I can't look at her. We tried to do a live, even the still frame on Amber Williams live, and what was that?
That was the thing that Trevor said. Do you even? Yeah, here it is. Look, and then Sam's got it right there. Do you even carousel, bro? Because weren't you just telling me earlier that like you're spending a little more time kind of playing around with Canva right now?
Oh my God. So I was anti-Canva. You guys can find the poll. I'll be honest, you can find it. I hated it. I was hating on it so bad. And then they did an update to their app and I was like, oh, okay, we're friends now. And now I'm addicted. And it was Omar's fault. He wanted me to remove his background and make him glow like Brian Poindexter. And so I practiced, but yeah, no, Sam's like the pro. For sure. And I just remember daring her to dive into that like moment because she was so good at it. I was like, she's going to take off with this. Her energy. And gosh, I'm proud of everybody. Look at how everybody's grown in the last year in like the circle. Right. Yeah, and I know like this is an open circle, guys. Jump in anytime. It's a pool anytime. But you look at the Hotness Unleashers and kind of how that grew and the side projects that built from that networking event, and it's evolved.
Well, I love
Trevor.
I love that your point about the open circle, right? Like, I mean, you do build these circles. These, I mean, they can almost feel cliquish sometimes, but one of the points about doing so much of this stuff publicly, like having a coffee chat live as a show, or doing a post where you invite people to get into the comments and talk to, Paul, thanks for asking about the villains. Um, I'll tell you more about that some other time. But because yes, it's coming back. But part of the point of that series was to get people involved in the comments and talking to each other. And with this show too, like I do want to build a circle, but the circle stays open, right? Anybody is welcome to join it, and then the circle just grows. And that's the way networks ought to be too. There was a study I saw published however long ago. I think I read it in the New York Times. I forget exactly. That was saying that with networks, when people are out looking for new work and they're trying to find connections to get them either clients or to get them new job opportunities, it's the width of your network, kind of the breadth. You don't have to have every point of connection doesn't have to be super deep. It's just knowing more people. So having those deep connections can help you make other kind of wider connections. And the bigger your network gets, the more opportunities you have professionally and personally too.
Absolutely. And guys, I mean, writing stuff down is a big thing for me. I really like to keep track. If you're doing the kind of volumes or meeting the kind of people that we do in these events, hundreds can show up and come in and out, right? And so how do you keep track of everybody without writing it down? And so keep good notes. It's rule of thumb in every business. The CRMs, applicant tracking systems out there are proof. That's why they exist, is to keep track of that stuff. And if you can't afford it, create a spreadsheet on Excel. Create a planner. Go to the dollar store. I love talking about you could start where you are. I have planners for this. I needed my version, what I wanted to know. But good rule of thumb is figure out 3 things about them that you want to know. Share 3 things about yourself that they should know. And then try to make 3 introductions. Because then you have people saying, like Sam saying, I double dog dared her. That's really cool. I met Sam, I think, because of Trevor. I really think so. I don't know. Right? I met Amber because of a post I did being authentic on LinkedIn, or maybe, no, she did her authenticity post, and it was right on the back of when I lost my mom, and we were talking about our loss, and we met that way. And how cool is that? That's not how we're supposed to behave here. We're not supposed to talk about those things, but that's where the most valuable relationships come from, is being human and not pretending not to be. So move with authenticity, write it down, keep track of your notes, because I think it's important to come back and remember anniversaries and where you met and thank you cards, right? Because when Paul becomes a millionaire and he says it's all because of Melissa's audio event one time in a room somewhere, I can go, well,
The one of the things I like about DMs too is, and making sure that after a coffee chat, you follow up with people and talk to them, is that the DMs are a record of a conversation. You can go back and you can look at them to remember. And and I don't do this always, but if you're connecting with folks, it's helpful to try and have at least an initial conversation about what you like, what connected you, what drew you. I've had a few people where I've gone to look back in the DMs and I'm like, how long have we been connected and why are we connected? And in some cases I goofed up and there was no DM. So I'm like, I have no idea. And then in other cases, there is the DM, and I'm like, oh, that's right. It was, this or that or the other.
You can actually go to my profile and click my contact info, and it will tell you when we connected. Did you know that?
Oh, I did know that, and I forgot it, and now I know it again. So thank you.
But I will say, definitely go back through your DMs, because I don't know if you're like me, but I get a couple every time I go live. And a Sam came, like Empress of Journals, right? We kind of have the same, we like to write things down.
Yeah.
And she messaged me after coming to one of my live events. I had mentioned her in the live room, and she messaged me, and then I realized she was bumping an old message where I ignored her since last February or something. And so don't leave people in your DMs. Go back through and clean them out. Save them, touch them, because you don't know who might be hiding.
I mean, that's one thing that I feel like some of the marketing and branding folks talk about is those touch points. Like, it is important just to, and I mean, in an office setting, right? And the we were talking about the cubicle farms, right? Like if you're in a spot like that, you can walk by and just say hi as you walk by, right? In an online environment, you don't have that possibility. So you have to do it digitally by dropping a message or something and saying, hey, how's it going? Going back and checking. I don't know about you guys. Raise your hand in the comments if this ever happens to you. But sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with DMs. Like I'll get a stack of them that I haven't replied to, and then I reply to some. And the thing that trips me up is I'll say something like, "All right, I'm going to get back to them, later because of whatever excuse," and then, here it is. I'm like, "Oh, I was supposed to do that in February."
I'm working on this because LinkedIn has a really cool feature. You can go to your inbox and click unread. You can sort by the unread and they'll all come. But it's bad. I'm looking at numerous little blue bubbles in my inbox. And the anxiety didn't start until they started batch notifications some point in the last 6 months or 8 months. And then I'd go to sleep. It seems really dead on the internet. Wake up and there's 400 notifications or something. And I'm not being funny. I think I had like 243 one night when I woke up. And I thought, how in the world does anybody keep up like this? Like just trickle them in as they come. So I don't have 57 messages at once to respond to.
Yeah. I mean, I see 99 plus and I freak out.
You're just like, oh, clear notifications. We'll get back to it. I stress, guys. So, but honestly, you know what? Message and ask for, if you're close enough, don't live in the DMs. Take it offline too. That's something else is everybody wants to live here. And I love this platform. It gives us a lot of opportunity. I don't even use Zoom. I use their video whenever it's functioning well. But can you contact them if it disappears tomorrow? Do you back up your content? Ooh, Nathan, we do a lot of building our network, but do you back up your stuff?
I used to. I haven't lately.
Do you guys back up your stuff? I want to know in the audience. Do you even know you can? You can like back up your profile, contacts, your post, your polls, all of that stuff will show up. And it's really nice if you want to repurpose content or maybe review what you've done well. It's right there in a folder. And really smart in case they just shut you off tomorrow, which has happened, right? They are all powerful. Don't build your brand here. You don't own it and not have a backup.
So I met
Sam Bugs crashed your party.
And yeah, I forget what was happening, but we were like trying to stream live. And yeah, there was some ladybug that was like hanging out, trying to get in our camera. I mean, she was polite about it, but right? Inside jokes.
Okay. So my favorite ladybug ever is from A Bug's Life. And it's the boy ladybug, the angry one.
Yeah. Yeah, we just watched that a couple months ago. I love that.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah. So, I've done in real life with a few people, but honestly, I would love to get an event going. It's my dream to have you guys all fly into where Trevor and I are. We have a pretty nice view in this area of the country and put on a party.
Guys have got a nice, it's nice out there. Both you and Trev both are there. Like Susanna's not far from you. That's a good location out there. Let me know when the plan is. Well, listen, we are coming up on the end of time here, everybody. Melissa, what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
In the DMs is great. Always stop by one of the live events. I'm there for you to come hang out on stage. It's very open forum to have these kind of conversations live and fast forward that networking. And then my website, Document Then Act. Go check it out. There's some cool stuff, planners, coffee chat. If you don't want to create one on your own, I have one already formatted for you that works pretty well. So awesome. Check that out too. Also, Paul, just so you know, if I have to pick one, it's Almost Famous. It's so underrated.
Good movie. Yeah. Melissa, one thing I also always do is let the guest have one final note that you want to leave us with. I'm going to shut off the chat, you guys. Melissa, I'll give you the whole screen. Tell us one thing that you want, like everybody to take away from this conversation, from thinking about this. And then I'll come back in and we'll say farewell. All right, here you go.
Thank you. So guys, honestly, what I think I would leave you with is life is hard. It's not always easy. We can plan for a million things, but flat tires happen, loss happens, it's guaranteed. So just remember that victory and victim will start out the same way, and it's up to you how it ends. Just be mindful every day of what you're doing. You can't control it all, but what you can control can change your life. So go do that with gusto.
Thanks, Melissa. Do it with gusto, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for coming. Everybody, I hope we will see you next week. Melissa, thank you so much for the time. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.